Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your reading. If you clicked on this video, then you're probably an Aquarius sun, moon, or rising. And welcome. This is Tree Cat Tarot. I am Tree Cat, and here we do pick a card reads as well as zodiac reads for the upcoming month. I am a big believer in looking at your sun, moon, and rising since that is your particular combination. These are general reads. It just helps you get a little bit more specific, as well as using your intuition about what sounds right to you versus what does not. When I am reading, I am only a messenger. I am not you. So always take what resonates and leave behind what does not. Today we are going to take a look at some of the oracle cards to see what your February is going to look like, and then we will take a look at the tarot to get a better look at your general month, and then we will do your love and relationships, career and finances, and health and spirituality. So if that all sounds good to you, let's go ahead and get started with your reading. Okay. We have the Sun, card number 31. So we don't have 31 days this month, but maybe that number is significant to you at this time. The Sun for that oracle card is opportunity. The story kind of reminds me of Shrek, with like how Fiona becomes the ogre every night and she's a princess during the daytime. That's what this story is, Princess Daylight, and that's the, like, if there's a movie you could immediately relate it to, that would be the movie Shrek. Your scenario is I choose to forgive, blank will help me start the process. So yeah, the opportunity that I see coming in for you, it is coming from the outside. It's not a situation of like you having an idea and creating your own opportunity. It's coming to you. So for forgiveness, we have not letting the excuses win. So if you know you're being very stubborn with somebody, stubborn about not wanting to forgive somebody, and you know that you're making excuses about it, even if you have a hard time forgiving yourself, it's always, there's no point in holding on to any of that, right? Like, because what does that do? It makes you suffer. It makes you suffer, and it drains opportunities away from you, and it makes it harder to interact with other people and ourselves, right? Because when we are not forgiving ourselves, we're living in a place of shame. And shame really does nothing to serve us. Shame only tells us that we are not capable and we are not worthy. That's all shame does. I don't know if the forgiveness is like self-forgiveness or if it's forgiveness of another person, but either way, Spirit would like you to let go of that by February, or at least I see you doing so. Here we have the Moon Lore, Ebb and Flow. This is card number 23. There's some rabbits here. With Moon Lore, it's funny that we have a Sun card coming out with a Moon card. One of the things I did just hear is that you might be someone that lives a lifestyle where you're awake a lot during the day and awake a lot at nights. Maybe you're someone with a weird sleep schedule, like you sleep a shorter period of time during the night, but you take a nap in the middle of the day. That's something I'm getting here. The other thing too, in both cases she's sleeping, so like just sleep is important in terms of February. Maybe you're more active at night, because with the Sun card, she is sleeping as this beautiful princess during the daytime, and at night she's awake and she's this, or no, she's not awake, but she's this hag. No, she is awake. She's awake and like she's ornery and shit, and she's this hag. And then with the Moon Lore card over here, she's also sleeping. So maybe you're being encouraged to sleep more, or maybe you simply have a weird sleep schedule. You're going to take on a weird sleep schedule at this time. Moon lore, especially where it says ebb and flow, makes me think of living by the moon and moon cycle. So you might be paying more attention to the moon at this time in order to help you move your life forward, progress your life. Working with the moon is definitely, because the moon phases have different themes to them and different like things that they represent. When you start living by the moon, it changes everything. It changes the way you work, it changes the way you sleep, because you start noticing and realizing that when the moon is in different phases, we also have more energy or less energy, particularly if you have a period, because the moon also tends to correlate with our cycles in a very specific way. Maybe you're looking into what it means to correlate your physical cycle to your moon cycle, because that does usually, like, if you tend to bleed depending on what the moon's doing during that time, it has different meanings to it. Also with the cycles of the moon, you could be paying, like, if you really get into it, you could be paying attention to like what sign the moon is in and what house it's hitting in your particular chart. That's really useful for knowing what's going on in your internal world and what you're really concerned with, including like some of the things that might come up on a day-to-day basis. Like, I've noticed that, like, if the moon is in my 11th house, for example, so for me that's in Libra, your 11th house is like friendships, networking, humanitarianism. I notice that when the moon's in my 11th house, I have to navigate tricky social situations a little bit more often, but at the same time, I have the finesse to do so because it's in Libra for me. And Libra is the most diplomatic sign. Um, Science and astrology with the moon is like a whole other thing, and I could literally make hours long of different videos on that, but that's not what we're here to talk about. You can definitely do your own research on it. There's lots of great free resources on YouTube, just Google, whatever. But yeah, that's something I could see you getting into at this month. I feel like I'm kind of like just tired and rambling. That could be the energy that you're in at this time. We have the Six of Water. Okay, we have the Four of Water in reverse here. And we have the Queen of Earth in the reverse. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not feeling a productive energy. I'm feeling a sleepy energy. You could be sleeping a lot more in the month of February. Um, you could be sleeping because of your mental health too, especially if you are pouring toxic shame into yourself. That would definitely make anybody sleep more. With the Six of Water here, I see you're going to be doing a lot of reflecting on the past or the childhood. Like, maybe, if anything, like when you're awake, you might be engaging in like inner child play more often than not, or just like, eating foods that felt good to you when you were a kid, or your favorite foods when you were a child, watching movies that you enjoyed when you were a child, doing activities like coloring or creative stuff, connecting with that more. I feel like not so much from an intentional, I'm going to feed my inner child place, but more from a place of, I want to feel good, I want to feel okay. And so sometimes when we want to feel good and okay, we often automatically go right to things that were comforting to us when we were children. So I do see you doing quite a bit of that, and honestly, like, there's no shame in doing that. Connecting with the inner child can be incredibly, first of all, it's weirdly liberating to give yourself the permission to do that. Like, it reminds you that you're really only as old as you feel, for starters. The other thing about connecting with the inner child is it does exactly what we seek out for it to do, is it's comforting, but that's only if we're connecting with the inner child in such a way that we're not tearing him, her, or they down. Only in such a way that we are not further wounding ourselves in the ways that we were wounded when we were little. With the Four of Water in reverse, the Four of Water in reverse is interesting because it's not that you miss an opportunity, and it's not that you allow boredom to distract you. You're not in that mindset. In fact, you could be coming out of that mindset. What I'm feeling is an energy of someone who's getting sick of themselves and their habits. So maybe you've been in an energy for a long time where you're kind of apathetic, you feel lost, you don't know what to do or where to go. So it's possible that for like the beginning of February, you allow yourself to go into a more, I want to feel comforted, I want to feel like a kid again state. And maybe that gives you the nourishment you need to get out of feelings of apathy and to go ahead and seize an opportunity that is presented to you. Because we have two cards here that do talk about opportunity. Um, and if the Four of Water was in the uphand, I would be worried that you miss it, that you let it slide by you. I don't see you doing that. Now, then, with the Queen of Earth in the reverse, again, that's a lot of like dependent energy. That's a lot of not doing the practical thing, doing what feels good rather than the practical thing. It does once again bring me back to the idea of being careful about how you're talking to yourself. And maybe that's part of what you get sick of by the end of February. Maybe part of what you get sick of is the way that you relate to yourself, the way that you talk to yourself, your inner dialogue. Knowing that it's what's stopping you more than anything else, and knowing that you need to make a change and you're just not sure how to go about that change. The opportunity could be something. So, in the Sun card, the way she goes from being a hag at night is, so she's this ornate hag at night, right? And there's this prince, and he has no idea that the beautiful sleeping princess and the night hag are the same person. And he just kind of feels sorry for the night hag. Like, he realizes that, gosh, you're such a grumpy woman. What kind of life did you lead? Like, what happened to you? Who hurt you? Right? So he just, out of the kindness of his heart, just gives her a kiss. Just shows her kindness. And she turns back into the beautiful princess. So it's very similar to Beauty and the Beast, except the genders are switched. It's really funny that I'm pointing that out in this reading because in the last reading I had a card that also made me think of that story. Maybe it was one of your favorite movies and you want to, maybe watch it a little bit. Maybe something will click for you. The other thing too that I was getting at is maybe having compassion. This is going to sound really ass backwards, but having compassion for your inner critic, right? Like hearing that internal voice that is really harsh, that, because ultimately the harsh ego is just trying to protect us, but it doesn't know how to go about it in a loving way, right? So, hearing those harsh thoughts and just saying, hey, like, with love and light, thank you. I know you're trying to protect me, but right now I need you to sit in the back seat because you're yapping a little too much, right? There's sirens going off in the background, so I feel like that's confirmation for a lot of you needing to tell that harsh inner voice, like, hey, you could chill out. You could just take a pill, take a chill pill, sit in the back seat, go to sleep for a minute. And then once you get that voice to calm down, maybe try to teach it to speak to you kinder. That's when this Queen of Earth in reverse energy will come upright, but that probably won't be until March or April or something like that. If she was in the uphand, I would say that you would have actually really addressed that by the end of February, but because she's reversed, I feel like you're going to spend a lot of the month kind of in your feelings, trying to comfort yourself, and it's by the end of the month that you realize something needs to change. Maybe the opportunity of what you receive has to do with mental health. Like maybe you qualify for like state or government health aid or health insurance, whatever is going on in wherever you are located. So maybe you receive that. Maybe maybe a new medication comes on the market that works for you when previous ones didn't. Maybe you see a billboard for something. Whatever this is, I feel like it has to do with your mental health. And it's going to help you to address like something to do with a harsh inner voice or depression or anxiety. So let's go ahead and move on to your love and relationships for February. Okay, we have the Nine of Air in the reverse. That's one of those cards we like in the reverse. And we have the Four of Air in the uphand. Okay, so that kind of reflects a little bit of what we've been talking about. In your love and relationships, I feel like this is not, I don't feel like we're talking about romantic relationships for most of you, but for some of you, we could be. Um, you're realizing a lot of your anxiety doesn't come from you. Like not our anxiety often and our harsh inner voices often do not come from us. They come from other people and us just echoing those voices and the things that they had to say. You're realizing that the anxiety did not come from you to begin with, so that's part of what is motivating you to try to address it rather than feeling helpless about it. The thing though is with the Four of Air here in the uphand, you know you need to address it, you want to make a plan around it, but you're not quite ready to take action. You need to let yourself rest and heal more. That's a very large concept just going throughout the month of February. Let yourself rest. You don't have the capacity at this time to actually deal with anything. And if you let yourself rest, you will allow the energy to come to you to actually deal with something. When you break a bone, do you automatically start using it? No, it needs to heal. And even after you come out of the cast, there's usually still a healing period afterwards where you're limited in what you're allowed to do with that bone, right? So for your career and finances, we have the Ten of Water in the reverse. And we have the Ace of Water in the uphand. That combination tells me that you are I'm getting, I know it's in your career and finances rather than in your love and relationships, but bear with me. Um, I'm seeing here that a lot of money just got dumped into a new living situation. Um, so it's a new home, and I love that for you. But maybe there's things about the living situation that are stressful. Like maybe you live in a part of the town that you'd rather not live in. Maybe the rent's a little bit higher than you wanted it to be. Maybe there's some issues with the apartment. There's things about your living situation that you don't love, but it's a new one. Um, Maybe it's a situation where you have a lot of roommates and you're not really accustomed to that. Because the Ten of Water can also be like a family or a lot of people living in the same dwelling. Hmm. I feel like too, I just got more tired the more I tried to intuit on that. So whatever it is, like I would say this is the main source of your stress. Something to do with finances tied in with a home. Maybe you just bought a home, and maybe the Ten of Water in the reverse is that you thought family would come in and help you with the financial aspect of it, and they let you fall. Or maybe you were expecting family to let you move in with them. Like maybe there was an agreement that family would let you move in with them or let you stay somewhere until you could get back on your feet, and they again let you fall. You did get into a home, you did figure that situation out, but obviously it caused you pain and depression. Let's go ahead, like, because I just feel a resistance to reading about that particular part. So let's go ahead and move to your health and spirituality. Because, yeah, I just feel really big resistance when I try and feel into that. Okay, we have the devil, card number 15. So maybe the 15th is an important date. Capricorn energy. And then we have, oh, okay, I guess. And then we have the Two of Water in the reverse coming out with the Page of Water also in the reverse. Okay. So this situation, like, it could be that you're having depression right now because of a breakup. It could be that you're dealing with a lot of emotional immaturity, also with the ego showing up in health and spirituality. That also talks about addiction, alcoholism. Yeah, the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse coming out with the Page of Water in the reverse really, really makes me feel like someone doesn't speak to themselves very kindly, and it's because when you were a child, someone didn't speak to you very kindly. Also with the devil being ruled by Capricorn, in the health and spirituality part, there, I just, little warning there about like joints and bones and the nervous system, I want to say. Some of you, maybe a somatic therapist recently moved into the area, and that would be a way that you could release some trauma. Somatic therapy is when we release trauma that gets stored in the body. So there's some physical manipulation involved with the therapy itself. And just the fact that the devil's called ego in this deck, we were talking earlier about you needing to tell your ego, like, thank you, but take a backseat. Thank you, but take a chill pill. Thank you, but shut up. So, yeah, a lot about your mental health this month, Aquarius. And just the way that you relate to other people, the way you relate to yourself. There has to be a big change there. You have to know that you're worthy of good things and deserving of good things, and that you're capable of getting yourself there. That you're worthy of love, and if other people are hesitant to give it to you, first of all, that's not personal. That's not about you. That's about them and their own inner bullshit. Second of all, you should be giving yourself love anyway. To such a degree that if someone else doesn't want to give it to you, you recognize it as a them problem, not a you problem. Just like a little mama tree cat crap. If no one else is telling you that, I'm telling you that. All right? Okay, Aquarius, thank you for coming to your reading. This is all I have for you at this time. Go ahead and sleep on what we just talked about. If you would like a personal reading to get more insight about what you could do to help yourself, I do offer personal reads in the description box. There's a link for my schedule there. It updates every Thursday. So you can schedule a reading with me if you need to. If not, I just enjoy the exchange of energy and all that jazz. So yeah, that tired energy I'm picking up from you is very pervasive. But yeah, if nothing else, like, comment, subscribe, and it'll be fine, Aquarius. It's thank God you're doing this during the shortest month, huh? But yeah, I will see you again soon. Be good, be safe, and love and light to you. Bye.